Welcome friends to a new session on the course School Organization, Administration and Management. Here we will have a discussion on the aims and objectives of physical education, principles of physical education program as given by the Indian Education Commission, need and importance of physical education, principles and suggestions for the improvement of physical education in schools. In the educational process, the statement of objectives is essential to give direction to the selection of instructional activities and methods of teaching. It is also the first step to be kept in view by the teacher for helping children effectively to grow and develop in desirable ways. This is also true of physical education. In the words of Muhyiddin, the object of physical education and training is to help in the production and maintenance of health in body and mind. The condition of modern civilization involving crowded localities, sedentary occupation, increase of study and mental work, restricted opportunities for natural physical growth. All these require that children and young people should receive physical education. They must be encouraged to devote special attention for maintaining the health of the mind and the body. Objectives of physical education are: 1. Development of well-built and strong bodies, conservation of health. 2. To keep children fit and in trim form during school and ultimately make them into well-developed, full-fledged, wholesome personalities. 3. To develop in them the sense of personal hygiene, social hygiene, mental hygiene, moral hygiene and sex hygiene. 4. Development of regular habits of exercise, cleanliness and play and of healthful living. 5. Development of personal qualities like self-reliance, endurance, self-control, courage, initiative, steadiness of purpose and resourcefulness. 6. Development of social qualities like obedience, cooperation, fellowship, fair-mindedness, selfless service, leadership, followership, sportsman spirit, etc. 7th. Development of character and personality and the whole man. Objectives of physical education as suggested by American Educational Policies Commission. There are 4 objectives of physical education. The first is self-realization. The realization of the self is achieved best through interaction of the self with the social group. Opportunities for this interaction are available in abundance in physical education. A student understands the basic facts concerning health and disease. He or she strives to improve the health of the community. Second is human relationship. The individual learns that his or her own health care affects others also. He or she understands that safety applies to protecting others as well as oneself. Also, physical education activities strengthen friendship, loyalty, fair play, tolerance, team spirit, etc. Third is economic efficiency. Many persons decide upon a professional career in one of the areas of physical education. Apart from that, we can easily recognize the significance of physical education in matters of general occupational efficiency, stamina, hard work, endurance, speed and occupational adjustment. The fourth is civic responsibility. Social justice is indirectly related to providing equitable health services and recreational activities for every citizen. We shall now discuss the objectives of physical education in different stages of education. First is the objective of physical education in the primary stage, class 1 to 5. To develop in the student proper regular habits and attitudes to meet the needs of the body, to train how to keep their hands, feet, eyes, nose and hair clean, to develop awareness and sensitivity towards the immediate environment and understand the interdependence between human and the environment, to respect physical work, dignity of labor and hard work, to develop values such as cooperation, teamwork and tolerance, to develop physical, mental and emotional well-being through yoga and games, to develop an attitude of living in clean environment, to be able to naturally accept failure and success. The objectives of physical education at the upper stage, class 6 to 8. To enable the students to understand the meaning and importance of physical education, to enable the students acquire healthy practices relating to exercise, rest, recreation, relaxation, posture and safety, to develop skills in providing first aid in athletic and other common childhood injuries that occur in the home, school and outside the home and school, to develop organic fitness, to cultivate habits of engaging in appropriate exercises so that immediate and future health needs are met, to develop neuromuscular skill and promote the ability to perform the work with ease and grace, to develop spirit of self-sacrifice and tolerance, and to develop attitudes of cooperation, good sportsmanship and fair play. Objectives of physical education at the secondary stage, class 9 and 10. To bring overall awareness of values and inculcate among students the desired habits and attitudes towards physical fitness and to raise their physical fitness status, to develop scientific point of view regarding physical education, to identify personal, family and community physical fitness problems and acquire scientific knowledge and information to control these problems to stay physically fit, to develop awareness regarding transfer of fundamental processes to physical activities to one's choice, to develop interest in exercise, sports and games for self-satisfaction and making it a part of life, to develop an awareness of good postures and to strive for them, to enable the students to develop an active and sturdy life, to enable students to develop sense of responsibility and self-sacrifice, to enable the students to practice socially behavioral patterns in an impressive manner. Objectives of physical education for elementary teachers training. To enable the students to appreciate the need for physical education in the total curriculum, to enable the students identify common postural defects among the students and suggest remedial treatment, to enable students to provide first aid for minor accidents and injuries, to enable the students to plan, organize and conduct activities and practices directly related to children's games and sports, to enable the students to organize various indigenous and modern games, combative drill marching and calisthenics display. The aims of physical education are development of physical well-being. This implies providing physical education to students for normal physical growth and development, in developing endurance and strength to do normal tasks of life as well as to meet the demand of the stress of life without feeling undue strain, and in maintaining and developing proper and sound functioning of organs and organic systems. Development of motor qualities. Physical education aims at developing motor qualities such as endurance, strength, speed, coordinative abilities, flexibility and power. Development of neuromuscular coordination. Neuromuscular coordination is essential in order to accomplish a work gracefully. Such activities are developed only through physical exercise, and that too at the younger age to a considerable extent. Maintenance of health and fitness. Physical activities aims at developing in a large measure to slow down the degenerative process. Development of functional knowledge. Physical education aims at providing opportunities to acquire knowledge of first aid and proper health procedures related to physical exercises. Cultural pursuits. As observed by Cousins and Stemmt, sports and physical activities belong to the arts of humanity. Such activities have formed a basic part of all cultures, including all racial groups and historical ages, because they are as fundamental form of human experience as music, poetry, wars, systems of government, plagues and famines have come and gone in the long record of mankind. These fundamental things have always been present in greater or lesser degree. Sublimation of emotions. Gregarious instinct in the adolescent is very predominant. This expresses the desire of the growing boys to form groups. If no opportunity is provided to the students, they may form gangs. Physical activities enable them to work in appropriate groups. Social and civic training aim. By participating in a variety of physical activities, students learn valuable lessons of cooperative and teamwork. Vocational aim of physical education. Physical education aims at developing skills which prepare students for a vocation. Spiritual development aims of physical education. Physical education, being an integral part of the total educational process, should help in the spiritual development of the student. Aim of development of sentiment of loyalty. Physical education aims at developing the sense of loyalty among the students. Tournaments foster this sentiment. Now we shall discuss the principles of physical education program as given by Indian Education Commission. Indian Education Commission 1964 to 66 recommended the introduction of physical education as a compulsory school subject and emphasized that a satisfactory program should be developed on the basis of certain principles. The first is interests and capacities. The physical education program should be planned for desirable outcomes, keeping in mind the interests and capacities of the participants. Second, emphasis on traditional forms of play. The traditional forms of play and physical activities that have developed in our country should receive due emphasis in the program. Third is a sense of personal worth and pride. The activities promoted should develop in each child a sense of personal worth and pride. Fourth, sense of sharing responsibility. A sense of sharing responsibility in a spirit of democratic cooperation should grow from experience on playground and in the gymnasium. 5. Supplement other programs. The programs offered should supplement other programs of education and not duplicate them. 6th, financial means. The programs offered should be within our financial means. 7th, programs for all. The physical education program should reach and benefit all rather than a selected few. 8th, special coaching. Special instructions and coaching should be provided for students with talent and special aptitude. Need and importance of physical education. Physical education forms an important part of modern education. Almost every school can boast of a playground and 1 or 2 teams. In every modern school and colleges, after classwork, students in various sports and games, the students generally take to all kinds of physical activities and show a great deal of interest in them. Physical education is of special importance to students. They are a great source of pleasure to them. They build the body and refresh their mind. They train the mind in many virtues. They teach the players discipline and team spirit. In school sports, the players have to obey certain rules. They have to submit to the ruling of the referee or the umpire. Thus, they learn discipline and obedience. Physical education creates in students the sporting spirit. The students learn to play fair and honorably and to keep the rules of the game. They learn to be fair to the opponents. They develop pluck and patience. School sports teach them to take a defeat in a good spirit. Physical education aims at bringing best in the students. It develops the alertness of mind. It provides knowledge about health and its hazards and communicable and non-communicable diseases. Through physical education, human body can be developed in good proportion. The physical beauty also improves. A good sportsman is a good citizen. He or she knows how to adjust with others. Physical education helps in developing and maintaining of good relations among human beings. It develops social traits like cooperation, sympathy, loyalty, fraternity, courtesy and other traits of leadership. Aggressiveness can be eliminated through physical activities. By participating in physical activities, we can overcome stress, tension and sensitiveness. Physical education helps in creating discipline through games and sports. Physical education provides a number of opportunities to enhance the power of tolerance. It enhances all essential traits required for development of the personality. It leads to happiness, efficiency and character building. It helps the people to become fit to develop their spiritual and more forces. It increases the scope of human abilities and enriches the life of the individual and that of the society as a whole. Contribution of physical education to general education. True education of the intellect can come only through a proper exercise and training of the bodily organs like hands, feet, eyes, nose, etc. An intelligent use of the bodily organs in a child provides the best and the quickest way of developing his or her intellect. The proper and harmonious development of all the four intellect, body, heart and soul is needed to make a full man. As the poet Kalidasa says, the body is indeed the principal instrument of duty. Physical education is instrumental in developing strength and stamina for the laborious and strenuous work in life. It works as a great educational force, providing opportunities for the wholesome satisfaction of inherent drives and urges of individuals and groups. Through its well-organized programs of cleanliness and orderliness, it develops aesthetic sense of children. It also centers around nutrition with attention to sufficient food and balanced diet, growth, etc. It also concerns with rest and sleep in a very practical way. Often, these programs emphasize styles and postures suited to work, rest and sleep. Physical education is a great factor in the mental hygiene of the students. It also makes contribution towards social hygiene. Children learn to play together in harmony, appreciating the rights of others and abiding by the rules prescribed for the activity. It inculcates a spirit of healthy rivalry and competition, sportsmanship, qualities of initiative, steadiness, firm resolve, confidence and poise, courage and perseverance in the face of odds. It inculcates in them self-control and temperance by emphasizing the harmful effects of drugs. It makes significant contributions to education for leisure and recreation. Through an intensive and systematic program of physical education, the students are acquainted with physiology and human anatomy and all about the fundamental laws of physical growth and development. Some of the principles and suggestions for the improvement of physical education in schools. Various committees, commissions and seminars on education for physical education have made valuable suggestions for the improvement of physical education programs in schools. A gist of these recommendations are: incentives in the form of credit for achievements in sports should be provided. Health, power of endurance, physical well-being of young people should be developed by improvement in nutrition. Planned coaching at all stages is essential. There is a vast talent potential in the country which should be exploited by intensive and planned coaching. Sports and games should also be organized in rural areas and in cooperation with the community. Sports festival should be organized and sports events encouraged on the occasion of fairs. Indigenous sports like Kabbadi and indigenous style of wrestling should be encouraged. Physical education should be made a curricular subject in the school at all levels and should be on par with other subjects. Similarly, school should provide a period for it in the timetable. The program of physical education and recreation should cater to the needs, interests and capacities of the pupils. It should promote normal growth and development, maintenance of health, acquisition of skills and desirable social attitudes and behavior. Playgrounds of adequate dimensions should be provided by schools. Where separate playgrounds cannot be made available for each educational institution, a common playground for a group of institutions should be created. The physical education program offered should supplement other programs of education and not duplicate them. The physical education program should reach all rather than a selected few. The traditional forms of play and physical activities that have developed in our country should receive due emphasis in the program. Greater facilities should be provided in educational institutions in the form of funds, equipments and trained teachers. For the supervision of physical education activities, qualified persons should be appointed as district physical education officers. Periodical refresher courses should be organized for in-service teachers of physical education and supervisors. Special coaching camps may also be arranged for them. All teachers below the age of 40 should actively participate in games and physical education activities. The existing facilities for the training of teachers of physical education should be expanded both in quantity and quality. Full records of the students' participation in these activities may be maintained and they should get credits for the achievements in these fields. The physical education programs should be within our financial means. Special instruction and coaching should be provided for students with talent, special aptitude and exceptional skill. Sports festivals should be frequently organized and sports events should be encouraged on the occasion of fairs and other festivals. There is a vast talent potential in the country which should be exploited by intensive and planned coaching. Health, power of endurance, physical well-being, energy and stamina of young people should be developed by nutrition and suitable exercises. Standard equipment should be manufactured in the country so as to be available at cheap rates to all. The rules of amateurism laid down by the international federations and the International Olympic Committee should be strictly followed in schools. A sense of sharing responsibility in a spirit of democratic cooperation should grow from experience on the playground as well as the gymnasium. Let us now summarize what we just discussed. Physical education is a vital part of the larger process of education. It is defined as the education of the physical and through physical. It has something more to do than building a strong and healthy body. A well-directed program of physical education builds up organic health and social virtues. The main objective of physical education is the best possible physical growth, motor skills, emotional integrity, social adjustment and civilized behavior. Such development ensures healthy growth and rich recreational resources. It also leads to social adjustment in a free society. In this way, physical education is an important part of the larger process of education of the individual, for physics correspond to national needs for vigor and vitality in citizens. There is no national good of it is unable to prove itself good for persons, and there is no personal good if it is unable to support and strengthen national life. Thus, physical education contributes richly to this dual function of education by aiming at the coordinated development of the child's personality, in order to make him physically fit, mentally alert, emotionally sound, and a socially acceptable citizen. Physical education helps a person to fit in with his or her social environment and adjusting to life around, acquiring the capacity to be mentally alert to all environmental responses, expressing emotions without prejudice to others, and otherwise reaching his or her maturity progressively. At present, physical education is considered as an integral part of education. All possible efforts are made to provide maximum opportunities to each student to take part in a variety of physical education programs. Thank you for watching this session on the aims and objectives of physical education. We'll see you again with a new topic. Till then, bye.